Trapmore Gang, Akaash Singh, okay, the comedian from the Flagrant 2 podcast, the B-Mike on the Flagrant podcast, he basically is getting absolutely smoked online, right? Ever since Myron from Fresh and Fit basically called him out for being a simp, just endless content has been coming out basically exposing his relationship. And look, I'm not going to lie, I don't usually speak on relationships, but this is bad. Just like the thumbnail be saying, this is bad. This is embarrassing. And I really can't believe what I'm seeing, okay? I'm not known for having all the ladies around me, but even for me, even a bespectacled dork like me, I'm looking at what's going on with Akaash Singh and his wife, and I'm just biting my nails, bro. It's killing me. It's embarrassing. Now, look, Akaash has a lot of motion, all right? He's on the Flagrant podcast, okay? I think this started out as Flagrant 2. They changed the name. They tightened it up. He got his name right there at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Schultz is Flagrant with Akaash Singh. He is there, okay? He is involved, okay? It is popping, all right? They got a podcast with 40 million views. It's absolutely out of control, unheard of motion, okay? And he's got his own little kind of comedic, comedic little thing going on. He's killing it in comedy, okay? He's here on the Punch Up website. He's got all type of tickets going on. He's everywhere, right? He's just performing multiple times a night. Absolutely all over the place, okay? Just non-stop motion. He's selling out venues. He's doing good. He's making his bank. He's getting all the attention. And basically, he has been challenged, all right? Look, all right? We're smoking that Akaash pack. I'm sorry, but we are actually smoking that Akaash pack. Now, look, okay? Fresh and Fit, if you know about Fresh and Fit, okay, now I've appeared on Fresh and Fit twice. Now look, they're very controversial, okay, I'll keep it real, and I'm not throwing them under the bus, okay. Myron and Fresh have been nothing but good to me. I bumped into Fresh at Complex Con. He was on good vibes. We was out in the club. I've been to the club twice with Fresh now. He took me to the club with Tory Lanez before he got locked up. That was crazy. And, you know, Myron, I've appeared on Fed Reacts. Now, just for the record, okay, I do disagree with a lot of the things that these guys say, especially Myron, and I ain't gonna lie, look, okay, they've been cool to me, but I really don't agree with a lot of things they say, especially some of the stuff where they're calling out people of a certain race and religion. I don't rock with that at all, okay? And I would say that to them. I've said that to them before. It's not cool. Like, come on, man. I feel like they, unfortunately, were on a very interesting path, and then I think they got too political and kind of, you know, went a little bit overboard with some of their opinions. So shout out to them, man. I got no disrespect for them. We can have a friendly disagreement, you know, but at the time when I went on Fresh and Fit, like for me, I was thinking this show is going to be like the trap street cultural Jerry Springer. Like they sending chicks out the show, chicks fighting in there, like, you know what I'm saying, Asian dolls on there saying she was going to spin and have the place shut up. It was just chaos, okay, and I was all there for it, right? I always enjoyed the show. When I had COVID in 2020, you know, this is when they were really having their come up, and I was just locked in watching the show. I popped up on there a couple times, and you know, the rest is history, right? They got kicked off YouTube. There was a whole bunch of drama with them, and look, we haven't got to agree on everything, but I tell you what, it does seem like Myron was actually right about Akaash, okay? He was absolutely spot on about what was going on with Akaash. So basically, okay, the beef started when Akaash called out Fresh and Fit on their dating preferences during their appearance on the Flagrant podcast. And what's interesting, okay, I actually am kind of not a small part of this, because the first time, maybe it was the second time I did the Fresh and Fit podcast, okay, I landed at the airport in Miami, I turned on my phone, and the first thing I see on my Instagram feed is them basically getting cancelled for saying they don't date black women, okay? And Joe Budden was calling them out. I was scheduled to appear on the show. I appeared on the show. It was very controversial. I got a lot of backlash, okay? The timing was awful, but I was like, I've come all the way out here to Miami to be on the show, all right? This was before they had gone full overly political, because I'm not really a political person like that. That's not the type of convo that I would normally be getting myself involved in, but I still went on the show. I got a lot of backlash, and look, I'll keep it real. They say they don't date black women. I rock with the black women. I'm not going to lie. I rock with all different types of women, okay? Black, white, Asian. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a little Jazzoline in there, you know what I'm saying, here and there. But what I will say, okay, I rock with black women. Everyone can have their preferences. There's certain types of... I'm more of a personality person. There's certain types of personalities that I don't rock with. Certain girls, if they behave a certain way, if they've got the wrong kind of morals, the wrong kind of focus in their life, that's what's going to turn me off and give me the ick more than somebody's race. That's just me, okay? Bad females from every race, every continent around the world, in my opinion, okay? But anyway, Akaash would basically come out guns blazing and destroy Fresh and Fit during this appearance on the podcast. This was an iconic moment, and this was in 2022. And so 3 years later, the narrative has changed. But let's see this.
Preferences preferences, bro. Like, I want to
here's
know
where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem. Well, I'm not saying I don't have a problem with the joke, but I have empathy for trying to be funny, and then it comes out fucked up, and then everybody's on your neck.
Exactly.
That's something.
Yes. Yeah.
Al can speak to black shit a lot more. I can speak to, yo, you're trying to be funny. It comes out fucked up. That's not what you meant. What I don't like, what I find corny as fuck, is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. It's just, those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny between, that's just my thing.
Like, Akaash is the extreme. Like, Akaash only dates brown.
Oh, okay.
See, here's the funny thing, right? And here's where I also feel like Akash is lame as hell even back then, right? I would say this to Myron's face. You know what I'm saying? It's bad. And he's even said it before that he does actually mess with black women here and there. He said a couple times a year he might get the little desire for a black woman, man. Black women are fire. Bruh, if a woman's fire, a woman's fire. It doesn't matter about her race. But here's where Akash fucked up, because he basically turned around and he said, well, I only date Asian women. I only date Indian women, Indian heritage women. Like, he basically came back and said, well, I'm on an entire exclusive thing. I've got my preferences. And he's calling them out saying, you don't date your own. You don't date black women. That's wrong. I only date Indian women. Well, you're in the wrong too, bro. You're in the wrong too. You might find love with a white woman, with a Chinese woman, a black woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? You being exclusive and excluding people, sure, that's your preference, but I don't think that's his preference. I feel like he's got this thing where he feels like this somehow, him dating an Indian woman, gives him some sort of like moral superiority over other people. And I think that's weird too. That's just as weird as saying I don't date black women because I don't like that race, right? Both quite weird perspectives, but Akash put his foot in it with this. Okay, and it all came back to bite him.
Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
So
Indian
this
woman.
is
that was
like
important
loyal
to me.
through and through.
Okay.
And I understand it's not.
That's an Indian woman that's important to me. I would take the worst woman on earth, the most diabolical, gold-digging, inconsiderate, lazy, not contributing anything, not even wanting to give me a kiss, only wanting me for my clout and money and status and the lifestyle that I give, as long as she's Indian, bro. Okay.
As important for y'all, but as an Indian, there's not a lot of us who are famous. So whether you like it or not, people are looking at you
Bro, there's loads of Indians everywhere. There's loads of them that are famous, bro. What the hell are you talking about?
as a role model. You guys have established yourselves as role models, from simps to pimps, which is another motto I find kind of corny, but I looked into what you guys are about. And a lot of this shit is just childish, which is fine if you want to be funny. We just talked about how doctors ain't shit for 45 minutes. Mm-hmm. We are not in any way life coaching. We are not in any way trying to help men outside of, hey, come have a laugh for a couple hours. Right. If you're going to paint yourself as life coaches and then say shit like, you know what I mean, I just don't really fuck with black girls like
I guess preferences.
So, preferences, man. You're allowed your preferences, but at the same time, he's now preaching how he feels like they should mess with black women because he only messes with Indian women, all right? Now, something that's important to note is that Akash has repeatedly talked about how he and his wife were both each other's first when they met, okay? They were both virgins. They'd never touched they'd never touched, all right? They'd never popped anything. Nothing had been popped open, all right? Completely, they were both each other's first, all right, and they was both Indian. It was perfect in this weird little dichotomy that he thinks is so important. Okay, this was so important to him.
But she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, "Oh, me too," or was it what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said
You blacked out?
She said it, and then I was like,
When she said, "I'm a virgin," you went, "Your heart exploded."
Yeah,
Well, we get happy. He's nothing compared to.
exactly. Dude, I was
A stallion compared to anybody else.
I was
that's great.
so happy.
Yeah, that for
so
sure.
relieved.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it felt right. It was like, oh, God brought me this person that like we already connected, and like she also isn't having sex. Now, she said,
Now, look, I'm going to keep it real for you guys, okay? You can call me a simp. You can call me weirdo. I think this whole thing of guys, like, looking for virgins is weird. Like, I'll keep it real. Whether it's Fresh and Fit, I don't care who it is, bro. Like, why, like, just, bro, why she got to be a virgin? Like, that's just weird. Like, if she is, cool. If you meet and that's the time, that's cool. But the way he's talking about, he's like, thank God she's a virgin. It comes from a place of insecurity. It comes from a place of, I'm so insecure about my lack of sexual partners that my girl must have less bodies than me. She must have a low body count. She must be a virgin for me. She must be untouched by another man. Bro, I don't mean nothing, bro. She's had sex with another guy. She's had sex with right. It's no big deal, all right? And men, look, I'm not trying to get into this manosphere thing, and I'm a dork, okay? But I got what I got going on. Like, my life's good. Bro, she don't need to be a virgin, bro. Chill out. Grow up. Honestly, just grow up, okay? If she got 10 bodies, she got 5 bodies. And I'm not going to cap, okay? Sometimes you want a girl to know what she's doing, All right, she needs a few XP points. If you want her to do a good job in the bedroom, okay, she's gonna need a few XP points. All right, you don't want to be teaching her stuff for the first time. And if that's what you want to do, if that's what turns you on, teaching a girl how to do things for the first time, kind of sus. I'm not gonna lie, kind of sus, right? You're so desperate for a virgin. You know, I ain't even gonna do all that, right? But you know, there's one group of people that are usually all virgins, right? And you can't be messing with them. Don't be messing with them. Wrong. So this idea of like, oh, Akaash saying, I'm so relieved she was a virgin, bro. You're on some weird shit. I'm not gonna lie. You're focusing on the wrong things. You're kind of on some weird shit, and it's really not that important, okay? I personally, maybe I'm a weirdo, okay, but I don't slut shame. I really don't care how many bodies the girl's got. That really doesn't affect me whatsoever. People have this whole thing of like, oh, she alpha widowed. She been with all these guys, bro. Look, I'm a confident guy, all right? You know what I'm saying? I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm not pretending I got the most bodies in the world. I'm not insecure about the number of bodies that I got. I really don't care. It's not really an important thing. It's not something I need to think about. I don't be asking girls how many bodies. I need to know how many bodies she's got before I can make her my girlfriend. If she's got too many, but oh no, she's got too many bodies. I can't. If she's a cool person, you rock with her, you fall in love, you liking her, you vibing with her, you have a good time, you connect, bro. It really don't matter how many bodies she's got. And if she's got a lot of bodies, bro, she might be coming with that Hulk 2 or 5,000 XP points. You know what I'm saying? And you might be a lucky man. Okay. All that matters is that she's with you now. Okay, if she's catching bodies when you're with her and that's not part of the agreement, yeah, that's a problem. Okay, but it really don't matter. And I wouldn't want to be judged on the amount of bodies I've got. I really wouldn't judge a girl on the amount of bodies bro, you might disagree in the comments. It really don't matter, bro. Are they a nice person? Are they a good person? A girl can have no bodies and be a piece of trash. A girl can have 1,000 bodies and have some of the wildest, funnest, coolest stories and the most interesting backstory of her life. All right? Really don't matter, bro. Let it go. Grow up. But anyway, okay, Fresh and Fit, after 3 years of this little Cold War, this little quiet beef, okay, Fresh and Fit would compile a compilation of clips from Akaash's wife's podcast and TikToks exposing their relationship and basically saying, yo, this pure virgin, all right, you was thinking about them white roses that we saw in the David video when you got married to this chick, might not be quite what you thought it was. And you're the one that put all the I don't care about body, bro. It's cool. If she popping it open in the frat houses, bro, that's cool. You have fun. I hope you learned some tricks. I'm trying to see them tricks. But if you're the one out here selling it so you literally thanked God she was a virgin on some weird stuff. Now, when we're finding out she was moving loose in these streets, you're looking like a clown. Okay, this was going around.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akaash only dates brown. Akaash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman
is like loyal through and through.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick is like.
Akaash thanked God for this. He thanked God. Thank you, God, for bringing this pure soul. All right. Here's the funny thing, right? Somebody can be pure in terms of body count, but their soul and their behavior and their thought processes can be very dirty and murky.
At least 10 inches. Okay, I have 2 butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God. And I remember that he
What kind of porn do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough. What? I just think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah. And so I was using you and your husband split finances. And I'm going to be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
See, this ain't got nothing to do with body count, but this is a lack of purity in character. This is a lack of purity in personality. She bringing nothing to the table.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work off, like all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. This is not a 2-way street. This is a 1-way street. His money is our money and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, I went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money. Okay.
I don't know if you watch The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like he's on my hall pass list.
Oh yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I think I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments that I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. No lies were told. I am leveraging the support I have. It's kind of like nepotism, but like through my husband, so like spousal nepotism.
She terrible, bro. And Myron said, okay, he called her out. He said, hey, Akaash Singh, shut the F up and never talk shit again. Your wife is, focus on your ran through thought wife. Now, Akash's wife would respond by calling her haters little bitches and basically saying she didn't see anything wrong with what she was doing, and even thanked them for the free clout. Now, I don't disagree with her.
Okay, guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately, it's these red pill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even gonna elaborate because I don't fucking care to explain myself to them. But what I will say is, if you're not gonna be a man for fucking women, like if you're gonna say, oh, women should do this for us and we're the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves. And what I mean by that is, so I just watched Don't Worry, Darling, finally on Netflix. It's like that movie from 2 or 3 years ago that everyone was talking about. Spoiler alert. But basically, these men live in this like virtual reality simulation where everything is perfect. They go to work, their wives clean on them, wait for them. You know, they're like, the wives are basically dependent on their men, like 50s aesthetic, but like the dark side. At the end, you find out that these women never consented to be in this like virtual reality thing. And like when the women start glitching is when the memories of their real life start coming back. And there's this one scene where Chris Pine, the person who orchestrates this whole like utopic town or whatever, he tells Harry Styles to dance for him. And Harry Styles dances for him like a little monkey. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking red pill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high. You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these fucking men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a fucking problem? Because I don't have a mic in my hand? Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the fucking misogyny. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this, like, people doesn't affect me as much because I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, like, talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which for us is really fucking high because we're just starting out. So I'm like, okay, keep driving traffic. I'm not even gonna read any of the comments. So it's like, what are you doing this for? Like, there's no way you can be happy. Like, you cannot be happy just doing this. And I feel like if you honestly just tried to find God, worked on yourself, went to therapy, you would feel so much better than what these like little cockroaches and parasites try to tell you. Honestly, that's like my honest feedback.
So clearly this got to her, right? And what she did is she masterfully focused on a bunch of things that this really wasn't about, okay? She said, oh, you think that me and my husband can't make jokes? Bro, that's not about you two making jokes about each other. It's about him basically repping, I'm with a virgin and I'm with my own race and my relationship is the model relationship everyone else should follow. And it turns out, all right, it turns out you ain't necessarily any of that, all right? You talking about you popping your pussy open in the frat houses for these white boys, which much appreciated, gang. All right, much appreciated. Okay, I might have ran into a Jazzleen or two in my time. Okay, back in the university days. But look, you talking about you want to get your getting your butthole destroyed. You getting your butthole ravished by these frat boys. Okay, even though you're a virgin. And I know that there's you may have heard, some people may have heard of the infamous poop hole loophole. All right, where you are technically still a virgin. Okay, you can have your butthole. You can have the second. You know what I'm saying? You can have your second memory card slot absolutely ravished. But that, you know what I'm saying? That main slot is still untouched. So, you know what I'm saying? The poop hole loophole definitely is like, she kind of sliding on a technicality. And to be fair, popping her pussy, she might have just been popping the pussy open just for, just Okay. But anyway, all right. So this ended up going around on Reddit, and people were basically saying, does she really think that's why she's getting hate? She took the least offensive thing that came out, decided to point to that as the reason why people are mad. She's a very manipulative person, okay? We've learned this, all right? People saying she wants a traditional provider man of the 50s, but she doesn't want to be a traditional woman of the 50s. Pretty much sums up her entire personality. I low-key see why Akaash hates Fresh and Fit now. LMAO, they're shitty, but his wife seems like the exact type of woman that they warn men against. The type of delusion women reach when they hype each other up no matter what. This girl is in trouble. She in trouble, ma'am. She in trouble. She knows why, but she's sneaky and trying to play it off and move the attention away from her comments like roster of guys she was rotating through and popping her pussy at white boy frats and how Nav measures up higher than her husband, right? Yup, honestly, her saying his money is our money and my money is my money is not a big deal since she probably makes less than minimum wage anyway, but her talking about missing college days and being passed around like a hoe by white boys is crazy. Talking about her friend's husband having a 10-incher is crazy too. It's time to remove yourself off the internet. Okay, it's time to log off. All right, it is time for you to log off. But things got even worse from there, okay? Things would get worse from there. She would also respond to the allegations of her lying about being a virgin with Akaash, okay? And someone would combine that clip with the full context of the clip that we watched earlier. And I'll be honest, I might actually defend her a little bit here. I've not inspected the goods, okay? I've not inspected the memory card slot, and I wouldn't care to or dare to. But I could actually defend her a little bit and say, if you listen to her wording, there might still be a little bit of hope that she might have used the loophole, and she might have, she might have just popped the pussy open for some not for the full. You know what I'm trying to say, not for the full insertion.
This comment is so fucking gross to me. Excuse my face, I just got a Fraxel, so it looks a little crazy, but it's like, who the fuck are you to talk about when I lost my fucking virginity? I will talk about it because it's my fucking sexuality and it's my fucking story, so sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And also, do you think Akaash never touched a fucking woman before he met me? Like, we both hooked up with people, we both were in relationships, and then together, we both lost our virginity. So sit the fuck down, you're like, just unfollow me, you're so annoying.
So clearly it got to her, right?
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through.
So what I think is interesting, she's like, oh, you guys are so disgusting for focusing on this. No, Akaash is the one that said the virginity was so important, bro. Nobody said, bro, that wasn't a thing that was on our radar. You guys basically made this big thing. We're so perfect. We're so much better than everyone else. We're so much better than Fresh and Fit. We're so much better than the incels that follow them because we're virgins and we're both Indian, bro. It's cap. It's cap. You're hypocrites, okay? That's what people don't like. And you guys are the ones obsessed with the virginity. We didn't even your husband brought that to the table. He was thanking God. Thank God she a virgin. And it turns out to be cap. But okay, to be fair, if she popped the pussy open and it didn't get filled entirely, and then combine that with a poop hole loophole, she might be good, okay? She might slide. But obviously, okay, she said she was a virgin but also had hookups. What? Once you talk about something publicly, anyone in the public can talk about it. That's how it works. Dumb bitches acting surprised that people talk about what they're openly admitting to on social media. She's insufferable. 37 hookups to be exact in a row. All right? So look, they're not feeling her, right? And Myron, on the other hand, would just simply continue sharing more compilations and basically just show how bad Akaash really has it behind closed doors with this evil succubus.
So my husband actually
said, LMFAO, this guy Akaash Singh's thought wife can't stop embarrassing him.
interviewed these red pill guys on their podcast one time, and I won't mention their names because who the fuck even cares? But it was so funny because he actually called them out on their shit. Hi, my name is Justine. I'm a stay-at-home wife, but I don't cook or clean because I don't feel like it. And my husband is a full-time stand-up comedian, and he buys me lots of nice things.
I'm mad at my husband because he's too busy working and being a provider, and I'm over here having all these cute outfits, cute shoes, cute bags, like want to do my makeup, want to go out, and he's nowhere to be found.
Okay, you guys, I have really good news. So for the longest time, I told my husband he couldn't look at me until he got to 1 million followers because, like, who the fuck are you if you don't even have 1 million followers on Instagram?
So look, she's shallow. She's shallow as hell, right? Like, forget all of this stuff. And it's, bro, I keep it real. People do this whole thing of the woman should cook and clean. I don't really care. If the woman ain't cooking and cleaning, whatever, that's cool. Like, we got DoorDash and we got Cleaner, we good, all right? But do something good. Like, you're going to have to find something to do that's like contributing to what we got going on rather than just spending my money, taking all of the closet space and just avoiding all of my kisses and just generally being a clout chasing thotubus.
There's a difference being a scammer and being a hustler. Two very different things.
Okay.
I'm a hustler who scams a little bit. I'm not a scammer
I'm
who
not
hustles.
gonna lie, that was sexy, and that's why I'm actively trying to have an orgy. Like, Akaash is such a fucking king. Like, everyone knows he's the best husband, and I don't often find men that measure up to him. And like, Nav completely measures up to him, if not more.
It's funny because when I saw her talking about that originally, I thought she was talking about the rapper Nav, and I was like, I hear it. But you know what's funny? I just want to say this as well, right? For everybody that has this whole idea of like the virginity is so important, it's so important. A lot of these people that get into their relationships with somebody, they're both virgins or one of the people is a virgin. What I often see happen as years go on is they want to find out what's going on with these white boy like they want to find out what's going. They want to try some different dick, like they want to try some different whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's normal. It's human. We want to have a bit of variety. That's why the whole body count thing is so messed up, because it's like, what, you just want to both be virgins, be together. You ain't never knowing what's going on. You ain't never. You need to experience some chicks with 200 XP. That's what you need to experience, that, bro. So this whole thing of like, oh, we thank God that she was a virgin and just we have a perfect relationship, bro. You probably both roasting for some different flavors. You know what I'm saying? You both roasting for a different scoop of ice cream. And you know what? That's not such a bad thing. So let's stop pretending like we've got these fake morals of, oh, we're just virgin and we're just with my wife. Bro, it's normal, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Shout out to my guy Adam, okay? Like, shout out to my guy Adam22. He's extreme on the other end, okay? Him and his wife, they're knocking down all types of different people. They seem more happy than a lot of these people. I'm not going to lie. Their relationship seems a lot more stable, a lot more happy than these weirdos that are just like, we must be virgins and we must both be... Bro, you know what I'm saying? Lena getting some BBC and she looks happy as hell, right? Adam having all type of threesomes, foursomes out here with black chicks, white chicks, Asian chicks. They seem happy as hell, and I think a lot of people are just jealous. But that's just my 2 cents on it, okay? But let's keep going.
Okay, I have 3 questions about Luigi. Okay, Akaash is mad because I call Luigi Bae.
I don't love it. I don't love it. What does Bae mean?
Bae is like means like
Get it up. Figure it out.
like Bae means like when you call someone like honey.
Yeah, that's extremely embarrassing, okay? Like there's more to this, but she would give another description of something very embarrassing. Now, I got to give you a content warning, okay? I'm not a fan of blood. You're not going to see any blood, but you're going to hear a story that involves blood, okay? And I'm not going to lie. This story actually resonates with me a little bit because I've got a little bit of trauma from a similar situation than they're describing, and I do feel like I kind of don't really respect the way she played this, but at the same time, like, let's not shame women for things that they can't control at the same time.
It's
so
weird
before we get into it, right? Somebody commented, said, I thought her stories about her booty hole and popping her cat with frat boys and having orgies were bad, but you got to admit, Akaash simp eating her box when she's on her must be one of the worst.
Periods, that's a red flag. Break up with him immediately, no pun intended, because when I was in college, I dated this guy. You know, he didn't want to fool around when I was...
I'm just going to keep it real, okay? Forget about, oh, I need my girlfriend to be a virgin. If your girlfriend's being a virgin, okay, she should... Even if she's not a virgin, she shouldn't be on the internet talking about stories of her smashing other people like this, right? Unless you're porn stars, unless you're in this social... Like, this is just embarrassing. This is not respectful to your partner, all right? If I was in if I was in a marriage... Okay, if I was married to a girl and I was doing a bunch of interviews about like, yo, I used to get cracking back in the day, man. I was having all type of threesomes, foursomes, but I was going crazy with it back in the day. That's embarrassing. That's something that my alleged wife, or this is a hypothetical, I ain't got wife, but like that would embarrass her. That would hurt her feelings, man. This is just about being considerate, and she's a very inconsiderate person, and she clout chasing. She's throwing Akaash under the bus. She embarrassing him in front of the world to try and get a little bit clout. She said she only made $600 off social media.
I was on like the heaviest days of my period. Okay, totally understandable. I get that. And I was like, oh, great. Good news. My period ended. Like, we can like have fun tonight, blah, blah. And he was going down on me. Like, wouldn't you know it, I was still spotting. And also, if you're like poking around down there, like more blood can sometimes come out even if your period is over. And I swear to God, like I thought my period was done. He like looked at me with so much disgust, and I'll never forget that moment. Like, I felt so ashamed and so dirty, and like he was like, how could you do this to me, and all this stuff, ruin the night and like whatever. And he was my boyfriend.
I wonder if she is embellishing this story. I've had this where a girl's lied to me about that, and then afterwards been like, no, I just wanted to get it cracking. I felt very hurt and betrayed, and I felt like maybe I'm over-egging it, but I felt like I was essayed, because it was like, you made me do something I did not consent to do. I did not want to do that. And you knew. In the scenario that I went through with a woman, she knew that she was on that, and she didn't tell me. She would have known that I'm not into that at all. I'll keep it real. When I was a kid, I've been in a couple scenarios, and let's not get into it, but I've been in a couple scenarios where bad shit's gone down. There's been a lot of blood around, and I passed out, okay? Got a lot of trauma with that. I'm not trying to see no. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to see no blood. If that's what's going on, I'm sorry, I'm going to skip it. For somebody to lie to me about that, I felt completely violated. So I kind of get where they're coming from, and I wonder if Jasleen is embellishing this story a little bit and making it seem like she was, oh, well, I said we can, because that's not cool. That is actually, yeah, that's just super, super not cool. And you're making somebody do something they did not consent to be part of.
Boyfriend at the time. I was just like so depressed. I went home and like I called my sister and I was like, I have to tell you something. Like this happened to me. And she literally was like, so? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, Jesse, that's so normal. Like, yeah, sometimes you spot. Like, why would he make it such a big deal and like punish you for it? And I didn't realize that at the time, but being with my now husband, it's so different because he has never once shamed me for spotting, or like maybe if we are fooling around and then like a little bit of blood gets somewhere, he's not like, ew, whatever. He's just like, oh, I'll wash the sheets. I got it. Like, he's so fucking sweet. I'll just give him a heads up like, oh, my period's actually like really heavy today. And he's like, okay, no worries. But then if I'm like, oh, I'm actually so spotting, he's like, I don't care. And look, I'm not saying everyone has to be comfortable with the same things, but I feel like there is a pattern of guys that aren't comfortable with guys that also kind of suck. So I don't know, let that be your sign. Any guys that are still grossed out about period stuff, like, you're fucking annoying and like grow the fuck up.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly, because I feel like that's your preference, just the same as you can have your preference if you only want to keep it in the Indian race when you're getting married. Like, some guys don't want to have, some guys got trauma, some guys aren't trying to see that blood, some guys are gonna pass out, feel very upset and very hurt and very betrayed by you forcing that upon them, right? So you're saying these guys suck, you're just trying to feel good about yourself, but you completely ignoring how somebody else is going to be made to feel by what you're doing. So I definitely don't rock with that, and I think that's super lame. I don't rate that. Now, even worse, she clearly hates Akaash. She's not attracted to him in any way. She does not like kissing him. She is disgusted by him, okay? And I've never even, I'll keep it real. If a girl's not into me, I'm not into her. Like, if you're not into me, if you're not giving me some action back, like, if you're not giving me some signals, bro, I'm not interested. I'm cool. I want chicks that are into me and attracted to me and are excited to get a kiss from me. They want to lean in and kiss me like I want to lean in and kiss them. But Jasleen, she hates Akaash. She doesn't want to kiss him. She's disgusted by him. There is basically a giant compilation of her dodging his kisses, and it's so embarrassing. This is bad.
Good, Mr. Armstrong. You kill me, boy, so that's out.
Bro, you're not even kissing at the proposal for the engagement, bro. This is embarrassing.
On Saturday when I saw her, I said, Daria, do you know? And she said, I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
She's a good liar.
Then she's a good liar.
That's a friend.
Then she's a good liar.
I can't lie. All I'm seeing is videos of her dodging the kiss. I ain't really seen any videos of her actually letting him plant a kiss on her.
That's a friend.
No, I don't want those gifts.
I know. Why not?
I don't care about. I like tangible goods.
None.
I don't care about.
So embarrassing, bro. It's actually crazy. It's saying bro's married and he's still an incel. Married incel is crazy. Proposal kiss dodging is nasty work. Every kiss looks sponsored by Make-A-Wish. If I didn't know they were a married couple, I would assume he's one of her mods that paid for some time. She dodging it like Muhammad Ali. That's crazy, bro. That is actually so crazy. Okay. And it's just so embarrassing. There's more examples of it going around, all right? Looking at this one, saying so materialistic and dodging his kisses again. She hates him.
Everyone says to me, oh, Jasleen, you're so spoiled. You're such a brat, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? My anniversary, or I should say our 4-year anniversary, can you stop with the, like, shuffling around? Because I'm recording. And, like, this is, like, the thing that annoys me is when I'm recording, Akaash likes to make likes to make the most noise possible. But I was just informed that, unfortunately, I will not be receiving a gift for my anniversary because we got a Birkin. Or excuse me, I got a Birkin, but that was almost like a month ago now.
Was it a month ago?
He's buying Birkins for this chick that don't even let him kiss her, bro. Bro. Like, say what you want about Fresh and Fit, bro, but they really trying to save men from shit like this.
I feel like it was about a month ago.
I don't think it was a month ago, dude.
It's fine. Like, I guess you just hate me.
You can't even fake cry. Look up.
The tears are there. They're on the inside.
I can't help the timing of the gift.
Babe.
Yeah, babe.
So you really just hate me?
I hate you. I love you more than everything. I get up to you on your birthday.
She even pretending to throw up at the end of it, man. She even pretending to throw up. And it ain't just that, there's more. They're saying, notice how she said the only thing she loves about Akaash is the life that he gave her. Dream life. That's why she's dodging the kisses.
He ever been broken up with and who now lives the life of a wag, basically. I can say that rejection really does feel like God's protection. So Rachel girl, you will be all good. And I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt. Breakups are fucking the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching things to go through. It's so much pain and no one can see it. It's so fucking hard. After I've been broken up with, I literally couldn't eat. I lost weight. I was really depressed, crying myself to sleep. But if I don't see myself in, ever dreamed for come true. But if I had stayed with these people, I would have never met my now husband. Or I should say, if they hadn't broken up with me, I would have never met my now husband, who literally is everything I ever dreamed for come true. Like every prayer I ever prayed come true, and has just given me my dream life. So I'm like so thankful that God protected me in that way, because God knew that, you know, as someone who has kind of like that codependency attachment issues, or like that anxious attachment style, it would have been really hard for me to separate from someone who I felt so comfortable with. So I think for the other person to do it was the only way I could kind of get that clean break off of someone, because obviously I have self-respect. So if someone's like, hey, I don't want to be with you, I can't just be like, no, but wait, maybe we can make it work. Like I have enough self-respect to be like, okay, yeah, this isn't happening. And I'm glad Rachel has enough self-respect that when he posted that public breakup and he was basically like, I don't see myself marrying you, it's like, yeah, that's a fucking punch to the stomach. But you know what? I have enough self-respect to at least like go back to my apartment, grieve everything, and like somehow, some way I will be okay.
Bruh, it's just so bad. They're saying, did she grow up with money or did Akaash? I've never understood this type of entitlement. She never speaks on any ambition she had other than to spend his money. She's still thinking about them. They always dump her and she hasn't let it go. She wants them back and is coping hard. Strictly platonic marriage. My now husband. I wish Akaash had self-respect, man. Every day it becomes clearer she doesn't like him, and the most superficial and she's the most superficial and shallow person of the year. Here's the thing: people don't tone down their horrible personalities online. I wonder how much more insufferable she is when the cameras aren't rolling. Okay, she just embarrassed him in so many different ways. Okay. So many different ways. You already saw the clips of her thirsting over her friend's husband, okay? But basically, okay, there's been a bunch of things, all right? There's been a bunch more things. It just never ends. Every day I'm seeing new clips on my feed of people basically just showing her embarrassing her husband. Comedian Akaash Singh's wife is so insufferable. She has nothing better to do than to film her flop podcast that gets into controversies all the time.
Wait, you think I'm bougie? Oh my God, stop. Wait, that's...
This says, maybe you're getting hate because you went on a podcast and unnecessarily used dehumanizing language talking about homeless people's smell. LMAO, you bougie bitches.
So sweet. And sorry to the homeless people I offended, even though I said no offense. And I mean, I'm sure this is like the biggest thing they're concerned about, and not like housing or anything. You're right. It's my TikTok talking about them, like a micro influencer talking about them. So thank you for advocating for them. Like, they really need that and they really appreciate it. And this is like an excellent use of your time, for real.
Man, it just never ends, okay? People are saying, whoa, girl, this really is not it. I've watched some of the comedian shorts and he's pretty funny, but wow, makes me think twice if he's married to someone who lacks serious empathy. Maybe she has a point and they have other things to worry about, but such a harmful and unnecessarily mean take. Some things just do not have to be said, okay? It's savage, right? And there's just so much stuff that's coming up, okay? And this one really went crazy, right? So this is that legendary podcast where she's talking about how she wants to, you know, she talking about the other girl's husband's 10-incher, his face card, all of that stuff. But she would claim in this one, all right? People saying, what does she do? What does she bring to the table? Well, she would claim in this, she plays a very important role in Akaash's career. She said she was the muse for the majority of his stand-up material, and without her, he would have nothing to talk about. He'd be nothing without her sitting around dodging kisses and demanding Birkin bags.
Similar, the hours that he works are really grueling, and there's just a lot of shit that he has to deal with, whether it's like comments, trolls, like online beef, like whatever, fucking you.
You're contributing to all of that. You're making all of that worse with your awful behavior.
Name it, okay? So there's a lot of like stuff in the background that I do to kind of support him in that situation. Yeah. So that's why it pisses me off when these fucking incel troll fucking losers are like, oh, what do you mean like you guys paid for it? He paid for it. Bitch, do you know what his fucking stand-up is about? It's about me. If I didn't have this fucking personality, what do you think you would fucking talk about?
That is true. Like, maybe that's comparable to the laundry. So yeah, you can get your flowers for that one.
Like, there's so
No, you can't, bro. Like, he would have... What are you talking about?
much relationship content that he talks about, and how
She's basically saying, like, look, I'm the funny one, and like he wouldn't even be anywhere he is without me just talking shit in the background.
Hello, the muse is sitting.
Exactly. And it's like that. And on top of that, giving emotional support when he's like talking shit about me on stage. Like, I should get a fucking Nobel fucking Peace Prize for that. Honestly.
Honestly, I feel like that's like an IP address in a way that you're like, every time he mentions you, it's like equity. What is it? No, royalty.
Royalty.
You just throw out business terms all the time.
Copyright. No, honestly, I should get royalty, and I basically do. So because no prenup and a joint bank account. Go fuck yourself. So I will.
Whoa. No prenup and a joint bank account. Go fuck yourself, bro. Clip this, man.
Basically do. So because no prenup and a joint bank account. Go fuck yourself. So I will say.
Gets what? Bruh.
I will say we paid for something because it's my money too, legally and also spiritually.
And period, baby.
And period.
Okay, we've talked about all the roles and responsibilities.
She's disgusting. She's actually just awful. Okay, and later on in this, she would admit. Yeah, she would admit, like, the gold digger allegations are partly true, okay? She would claim that she'd gotten together with Akaash before he had anything, but she's, you know what I'm saying? She could see the pickaxe, she could work it out, and basically she
I think
struck
the
gold.
misconception about me is that maybe I'm a gold digger or that I came from privilege, which are both partly true. I like nice things, but I didn't marry my husband for that reason because he did not make money when I first met him.
Wait, by that definition, I am a gold digger. I married my husband for nice things.
Yeah.
And so
also, what the fuck
These two women are awful.
is wrong with that?
Also, like, what? Okay, when you...
I still love him.
Yeah, I still love him.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness, Akaash was not making anything when we first got together. I fell in love with him like an idiot. Like, he was a walking red flag. He had a one-bedroom flex with a styrofoam wall and a makeshift headboard. So no, I'm not a gold digger. But now I reap the benefits of being with him when he was poor. You're welcome.
Also, okay, for...
God, so apparently this is cap. All right, apparently this is cap. This TikTok has basically led this to all be called out as cap.
I wanted to tell the story of how me and Akaash met because a couple of you guys asked on a video we did a while back, and I wanted to tell the story tonight because I'm seeing two friends for their birthday in Philly tonight, and I'm driving from the city, and one of the friends that I'm seeing, Courtney, is like partially the reason that we met. Like, her and my sister Manu wind back to like 2015. Courtney says to Manu, like, oh, there's like this funny like Punjabi comic. So she thought the last name Singh, you know, because that's what we told her meant that he was Punjabi. You know, he's on this podcast and he's really funny, like, you should check it out. And my sister kind of became like a fan of his, which is so funny because we laugh about that now because it was like so in the nascent stage of his career. Like, he had just gotten Wildin' Out, I think just got Guy Code and stuff too.
He was doing well for himself. He was doing well for himself.
Interning at Goldman Sachs, I was hating my life. So she came to visit me with our friend Harpreet to kind of cheer me up. And we were driving from SF to Santa Cruz. We're like driving up the California coast, and she's like, guys, like, you have to listen.
He was on Wildin' Out, he was on Guy Code, he was all over the place, and then you slipped in.
This podcaster, he's so funny. I didn't even know like what a fucking podcast was at the time because like I wasn't like listening to them. So she like switches the song to like them talking, and me and Harpreet were like, fucking turn this shit off. Like, no one wants to listen to this NPR bullshit. Like,
she hated him. She thought he was trash. She heard about the money, and then she changed her mind.
What if fucking listen to California girls, like the sun is shining, we're in our bathing suits, like whatever. So we always laugh because that was like, I guess, like the first introduction. And then like fast forward, I was back in Philly. I had finished my internship. I was finishing up my last year of school, and I would always go to the city to like visit my sister. And she was like, oh, we should go to this Hoboken Comedy Festival because there's all these comics that are going to be there, and that guy I told you about is going to be there too. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. We got there late, but we got there in time to see him perform. And it was so weird because they had like, I don't know whose idea it was to have this comedy festival in like a movie theater, just like a weird venue for comedy. So we go to where in the room that he's performing, and there's like maybe 10 or 12 people in the room. But I remember when I came in, he was wearing like a fitted, I think that's what it's called, like a fitted cap and like a sweatshirt and like Jordans. And I was like obviously in my fuckboy era. So I was like, oh my God, Manu, like he's so cute. Like I just like instantly felt like attracted to him. Like obviously like, you know, he's really handsome, like the green eyes and like all this stuff. And so she was kind of like, ooh, like, okay. You know, we're like, listen to his set, it was fine. And then when we walk out, we turn around and he was like right behind us. So Manu is like, oh, can we get a picture with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he like, obviously, like, again, like early stages of his career, like he wasn't really getting asked all that much. So she took a picture of me and him together. So
they kind of start talking, and she was like, oh, I follow you on Twitter, this and that. And then like we go to the bathroom, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like kind of hoping, you know, that he'll like ask me something or like ask me for my number or something. When we got out of the bathroom, he was like, all right, like keep in touch. And we're like, okay, like I don't know what that means. And it's funny because he like kind of like cringes now that he said that. So we're like going down the stairs. We just call it Uber because we're like, we can't deal with like the fucking public transportation. And he ended up coming down with his friend a few minutes later. He was like, oh, like if you guys want to take the bus, like it's a lot quicker and cheaper to go to the city, and like we're taking the bus, like we'll come with you. And we're like, yeah, okay, sure. His friend and my sister like kind of like walking ahead, and then like it's like me and him walking a little bit behind. And he offered me his jacket because it was like uncharacteristically cold for October. And like side note, so when I was living in San Francisco and like had no friends, I like went to go see the Golden Gate Bridge by myself, and like this really cute guy like offered me his jacket at the bridge, and I was just like, no, I can't. And I don't know why, like I guess that was just like a dumb rule I had for myself. It doesn't really make any sense. So when he offered me his jacket, I was like, no, it's fine. But my sister was there. My sister's older than me by like 10 years, and you know, like in Punjabi families, like your older sisters are like so maternal, but like me and her are also like low-key soulmates. So I was like so blessed in my life that I literally have two soulmates, like my sister and my husband. So anyway, so when he offered me his jacket, I was like, no, it's okay. And then Money was like, no, take it. And I was like, I feel like in that way, it was like almost like she was giving me like approval. So I was like, oh, okay. Start talking, and I'm just like telling him that, you know, I just finished my internship. I'm like finishing up my last year of school. Like me and my sister are best friends, and just telling him about myself. And I don't know, it's just like I felt something really special between us, and I can't always like explain it more than that. I just feel this connection. Like I feel like, and like Akaash's like integrity and character like just shine through, even like in the small interactions we had, and then like in our first date, which happened later. And that's all I can really say about that day, is just like it felt really special. Like everything worked out the way that we met, and I just felt like it was like truly like God's timing, and I'm just like so grateful. So
bruh, it's just so sad to see how it all turned out, and the weird like kind of like biased version of the story she told. Okay, there's more clips coming out. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, okay, but look at this one. This one's going viral again. One day ago, they're saying day in the life, more like everything Akaash does for her, with her dodging all the kisses once again. Look at this.
Everlasting love, this
It says marry the love of your life, couples massage, stay at a beautiful resort, UV8, sun is shining on Akaash and his wife, man. Perfection. Eating fresh. She just live in the lap of luxury out here, man. A husband who understands your love language. A husband that understands your love language. I'm gonna need 2 beds. One for Akaash and one for his wife. I'm gonna need 2 beds. Ain't no way you thought we were staying in the same bed. You're bugging. I need 2 beds. What the fuck was you thinking? Getting 1 bed, you better go back downstairs to the reception and get us a 2nd bed. She went 2 beds on him. No! 2 beds. A husband who understands your love language. Look at all this shit, bro. This was like pure comedy, bro. The camera pans all the beautiful, the flowers, and there's a 2nd bed. No! That's worse than the cuck chair. Oh, no! 2 beds! She went 2 beds. And now apparently, okay, I'm going to read you the comments, okay? People originally were saying like, oh, you know, maybe that's just a hotel they had to... Nah, bro. Sentimental, man. Them 2 beds. This one's mine with the Birkin. Your bed's over there. You got the little cot. Moonlit dinner on the beach to complete. Moonlit dinner just for 2. He did all of this just so he could get a little kiss, just so he could get a little lip lock action. But nah, she dodging every single kiss. Everlasting love, right? And then he gets to kiss her forehead once before he sleeps in a separate bed. Got to give her boyfriend some space, man. Her and her BF got to get some space. I cannot believe it. Look how rich and luxurious my life is. This is still popular. The concept of being in a marriage to a person you aren't sexually attracted to sounded insane to me before, but I've realized tons of women do this. Jasleen is just very open about it and kind of shameless. She doesn't even hide it. Bro, these people are rich. If they got separate beds, it's not because that's all the hotel had, right? I can't believe he's in a sexless marriage. I don't even like him. I always thought of him as some cringe yes man who buries his nose in Andrew's asshole, but his wife's too. My God, this guy's whole life is simping from home to work. Separate beds is definitely her love language. LMFAO. Only for her husband, she popping pussy all over the white boys' frat houses. She didn't mind sleeping in a bed with that guy and waking up with a sore asshole. Oh, it's actually excruciating. Okay, look, I'm gonna give you the last couple of things and then we're gonna wrap it up. All right, we're actually gonna wrap it up at the end of this. Okay, Akaash has been announcing he's got a new comedy show on the way, Radio City Music Hall. Get your tickets.
New York, you can make it anywhere because this city tries to break you at every turn. My mom didn't have a job, my dad didn't have a job, I was doing this, so I didn't have a
Now, look, I don't really care about giving Akaash free promo for his comedy tour, but they're cooking him in the comments and saying, hey, little bro, how's our wife doing? People saying this guy's deleting comments. Lol, your wife exposed you. She disrespected you and hates you. Myron tried to teach you, but you gonna learn the hard way. Bro, your wife broke you more than New York ever could. My wife, she cheating, buddy, with a nonchalant guy. NYC broke your girl down for sure.
I was applying to medical school, I didn't get in. I remember one of the coldest winters in New York. It was just a brutal time.
Bruh. All right, we're nearly done, okay? We're nearly through it, all right? But look. They finally acknowledged it on Flagrant. Okay, they said they're going to talk about the situation when Akaash returns from I guess the Middle East or wherever he is, and they're definitely going to cook him.
It was raining, and now it's sunny. Like the
Akaash is in India or Dubai.
Yes,
a planned trip. A planned trip that was planned before this madness. Okay, he's there, and obviously we want to talk about what's going on, but we don't feel right talking about without him here. Mm-hmm. So once he's back, we're going to have that conversation. I'm sure that will be spirited.
Climate change.
Yo, climate change is crazy, man. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, that climate change.
Baking soda.
Yeah. Baking soda.
So we're not going to make any jokes, bro. We're not making any jokes. We're trying to treat
We're
this.
not making any jokes because we're a serious political podcast.
Yeah, we're a high tea men's podcast.
High tea.
They're a high tea men's podcast, man. So they're not making no jokes, all right? They're all laughing, thinking we knew this all along, but it was not our place to say. You can tell these dudes were laughing their asses off at this situation off camera. She might not come back from India. They're saying it's going to be Akaash yelling and fake laughing until they can finally change the subject. That's the I told you so laugh. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is this Reddit post that's been going around, because I actually think this is one of the more sensible things I've seen on the topic. It says, I think that the Akaash situation just highlights the current self-respect and self-love problem that's ongoing with South Asian men. I've been thinking a lot about the Akaash situation lately, and honestly, it feels like it's shining a light on a much bigger problem that's affecting South Asian men right now, a lack of self-respect and self-love. It's not just about one person or one incident. There seems to be a pattern where many South Asian guys struggle with valuing themselves, setting boundaries and prioritizing their own well-being. Whether it's in relationships, work, or friendships, the pressure to please others or fit in overrides self-worth. There's a lot of racism going on from the internet, putting down SA men, making us feel worthless and not valued even as people. Especially in the dating market, we're often overlooked as worthy prospects. I've had plenty of friends of mine tell me about their dating struggles when it comes to this, and I'm not talking about FOB guys from India. I'm talking about people who have been raised in the West, have Western values, and respect women. They do their best to look good, go to the gym, and be the best version they can be, yet they get treated like trash or eventually get cheated on by South Asian women or others. It's a common trend I've noticed, and it's how we get situations like Akaash. It's the first I've seen, just not the most, it's just the most blatant. It's not the first I've seen, it's just the most blatant one I've seen in a while. But what do you think? Is this a problem? Am I off the mark, or am I an incel? Discuss. Some people don't know what's going on. But I thought that was a really interesting perspective. Look, Akaash is cooked, all right? He is overly cooked. He is absolutely, the oven's been preheated to 400. He is absolutely kizooked, okay? It's embarrassing. And I cannot wait for that Flagrant episode where they come back and put it on him. And I don't think he's going to have any defense. He's probably going to do the same thing that Jocelyn did when she tried to act like, oh, the outrage is about something completely separate, bro. Like, we're going to need to see, we might need to see Myron back on the show. I'm not going to lie. We might need to see Myron run it back and bro, if you really want to face this head on, you're going to have to get Myron in there. But let me know what you guys think, man. You know, did you think that Akaash has been getting treated too hard? I feel like after everything I've showed you, there ain't no way you're going to be thinking that. But anyway, go and check this video out if you want to go and see another video from me. I got a lot more content coming and a lot more content in the vault. I appreciate you for watching, and I'm out of here, gang. Peace.